What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is the last day of covering top 8 decks from the North America International Championship, and of course, we're rounding it up with the Junior Division. Once again, these players are fantastic. They've made it to the finals. They know what they're doing, and I promise these players could easily take you or me or anybody down in Pokemon games. So just because they're juniors, you need to watch out. They can easily come to your locals and probably beat you. Now, just like in the other two top 8s, we had totally different top 8s. So it was like a billion different decks you could play. But in the junior division, we see a lot of Greninja Break. We see 1, 2, and we see 3 Espeon Garbs and 2 Zoroark Breaks. So in this one, we're not going to see a lot of diversity. We're going to see pretty much the same kind of decks. And the really standout deck is going to be Xerneas Galvantula, which is I'm excited to see a Rainbow Road deck making it into top 8. It's a different deck, and we have not seen at all. But before coming to this weekend, I actually talked about Rainbow Road and how it could have success. I'm glad that I did cover that deck, and every deck that we talked about, we actually covered in the top 20 decks to cover, which I know we covered 20 different decks, but still, it's cool to see Rainbow Road making it to top 8 somewhere. Alright, so in the 8th spot, we have Nick Buschetti. I imagine that's how you say his name. Playing a Zoroark Drampa deck, the one we've seen over and over again. Now, looking at his list, the thing that is going to be kind of different is going to be Captivating Pokebuff. I don't think we've seen this card at all, but Captivated Pokebuff says your opponent reveals his or her hand, and you put any number of base Pokemon you find there onto your opponent's bench. Now, this is fantastic. If you're going first, you hit that Pokebuff, and you put like Lele's in the ground, making where they're pretty much useless, or a Shaman, and you kind of like gain that additional damage, but you make it where Lele's and Shamans do not activate because you're putting it down their bench and not themselves. Not too much to say about this deck. I mean, we see 4 Sycamore, 3N, Kukui, base, all this stuff that we've seen overall. Special charge, get back to your special energies, a Rangaroo to help if you get instructed for 3. If you want to see a breakdown of a lot of these decks, you need to watch Wednesday's video where I break down a ton of these decks and talk about why they play certain cards in these lists. Most of those are exactly like, are kind of the same, maybe like 3 or 4 cards off differently. Alright, so that's going to be Nick Buschetti, but still, congratulations to Nick. I've covered these decks for 2 days now, and I imagine a lot of people know what these decks do. Next up was 7th place, and that is going to be Walker Halliburton playing an Espeon Garbodor deck. Now, you got the Eevee with Energy Evolution, the Espeon with Psybeam and Psychic, you got the Flareon ahead for weakness on the Decidueye and Metagrosses, Garbodor, the 3-1 split that we've seen, gonna go Acid Spray route. The only thing that's really different in his list, I mean, it's not really that different, it's Tapu Koko making here, saying, hey, I'm still a good card, I'm here to spread, Flying Flip 20 everywhere, and can maybe set up knockouts with the Espeon GX. Actually, Tapu Koko, once again, helps you out against Gyarados with a Garbodor with the tool on it. You shut down the Machoke, and then you get Koko to knock out Magikarp, which is really, really nice. Everything else is going to see pretty much the same. Not too much standing off fish, but still, congratulations, Walker, for making the top 8. I do like the Hax Maniac in his list because this does help you against Vileplume, because you can Hax plus Fluster on a Garbotoxin Garbodor to turn on Garbotoxin to keep it on the field if your opponent has already used their Field Blower for the game. So congratulations, Walker on 7th place. Next up, it's going to be Liam Halliburton. Whoa, are these people brothers? That'd be amazing if 2 brothers made it. Are they the same 60? 12, 20, and 28? Yeah, it looks like it's same 60. Hold on, let me see here. No, they're a little bit different, but they have the same last name. I wonder if they're brothers or not. You gotta think that they are. It'd be pretty amazing if 2 brothers both made top 8 playing an Espeon Garb deck. I see no Hax Maniac on this list. I do see the Koko still. I don't know what's really different on top of my head. I know if you notice this, I mean, Espeon Garb, just a really good deck overall. Really solid play for sure. And congratulations both Liam and Walker for making a top 8 with their Espeon Garb deck. I really hope they're brothers, because that'd be really cool to see that happen. Next up is going to be... actually... Reagan, Jared, Jackson, John. This one's actually in top 8 order. Congratulations, thank you, Pokemon. Alright, so next up is going to be Zion De Tizio. I don't know if I said the name right. But in this list, it's another Zoroark deck. But the thing about this, you're gonna look, there's the list, you're gonna look and be like, what's different? What's interesting about his list? Well, first off, there's a Nest Ball, which search deck for base Pokemon to put it onto your bench automatically. But the key thing here is Tauros. Tauros is really good. We see him play a split of Drampa and Tauros. It when Garbodor first came out, everybody talked about playing, one Tauros and maybe like 2 or 3 Tauros, like a Drampa or something. And what Tauros can do is you can put in the active spot and saying, you know what, hit my Tauros while I set up multiple Zorks. And if they do, you can use that Mad Bull GX attack, and it does 30 damage times amount of damage counters on this Pokemon. So if you have 6 on you, you can Mad Bull GX for the knockout. You have Horn Attack, so you can constantly do 60 over and over again. And you have that Rage for 20 and then 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So Tauros is a very scary attacker because they can start Horn attacking for 60, just start taking knockouts, put a lot of pressure with a choice band at 90, just keep people for 90 over and over again. And if they don't deal with this Tauros, then Tauros can go out of control, take multiple knockouts. And if they do swing to Tauros and don't take a knockout, well, then you can punish them with Mad Bull GX. So Tauros, not a card that you have seen at all in any of the top 8s, but I want to say his name's Zion, but man, I'm probably saying the name so wrong, and I do apologize so much. I'm just really bad at names, but making a top 8 with his Tauros GX Zoroark Drampa deck. You can see right here, Tauros GX hasn't exactly been super popular, but maybe after Zion includes in his deck and a deep run in North American International, Pokemon will see more action. It certainly fits the mold with Tapu Lele, GX, and Zoroark as Pokemon need the only colors to get attacking. So congratulations, sir, for making it top 8 with his Zoroark break deck. But let's look at the brackets, and let's see who played against who, okay? So we're looking at Jackson's list, which is right here. Jackson played the Greninja deck, and he took down Liam Halliburton, which played Espeon Garb. And once again, like I said in other videos, Greninja Break is such a good matchup. Like, it's such an easy matchup. You can do a ton of damage to it. Espeon can't really do too much to you. Espeon has like a Fuse Ray, but then you have Free Retreat, so that's not going to matter. They have Psychic, which can maximum do maybe 90. But then you have like Greninja Break and Greninja, and it's just a bad matchup. But we are going to see Jackson use the Talonflame version instead of like the Starmie version we saw yesterday. We do see Wally, so you can like turn one Wally into a Greninja or into a Frogadier. Use water duplicates to get multiple Frogadiers on the bench. He does like 2 Max Potion to get all damage off Greninja, kind of tank for a little while. And when Rotom decks, ooh, that's so spicy. That's a card we haven't seen in any of these decks yet. Just reading something. Okay, so yeah, Rotom decks. I was reading the top. Literally what I'm just about to cover. Recognizing that Greninja Break decks can really get going when there's a full bench of the Water-type Pokemon, and it can be game off if one gets prized. Jackson has included a Rotom Dex item card in his deck for such situation arises. So what can happen is you can look through your deck and see like, hey, I prized a Frogadier, I prized a Greninja, I prized a Greninja Break. You can then use Rotom decks. After counting your prize cards, shuffle them into your deck, then take that many cards from the top of your deck and put that face down into your prize cards. Now, this can be good and bad. The good thing is you can get your water Pokemon out. You can be good to go, get your Frogadiers, your Greninjas, Greninja Breaks out into your deck and be good to go. But one bad thing that can happen is you could put more in there. Oh, that would not be very good. We do see Wonder People as well. There's another card we haven't seen to search deck for a Pokemon with the same name as another Pokemon in play, which means you can grab another Greninja, maybe a Frogadier, maybe a Froakie, and be good to go. So that is going to be the Greninja Break deck. Not too much else to say about that besides the Wally, the Rotom decks, and the People, and a Skylab. Ooh, one Skylab. Oh, 3 Sound Lab. I can't remember what the other. Did the other list play Sound Lab? I don't know, let's look. Let's go back to yesterday's list. What? Okay. This one didn't play any Stadium cards. What about Masters? Alex Kreckler, did he play any Stadium cards? No, so this is going to be actually the first Greninja list we see with Stadium cards. So, Jackson? Yeah, Jackson, playing the Sound Labs. Sound Lab could shut down base Pokemon, and what this could do, especially against Espeon Garb, is you can shut them down, make it where they can't evolve. Oh, that'd be so funny. Like, they put a Psychic Energy, and then they can't evolve, and then you just win that way. So that's actually really cool that he did that. Next up, we're going to cover is John Gavin. right here, who would play Espeon Garb. Now at top 8, he played against Zion, playing Zoroark Break. And I imagine that, I don't know how this matchup goes. It's probably like close, like almost 50-50. Especially since Zion does play that like Tauros. Probably makes things a little bit interesting. But it looks like his deck. Mewtwo, not going to do too much. It does help out against the mirror. I like to talk about Sam Chin's deck. You can use Mewtwo for Psychic to hit weakness on other Espeons, take a knockout that way. I don't know, I guess he must have just got like set up, had better trades. I would actually think I'd go in Zoroark's favor because you do have to use like more GX Pokemon. But yeah, I mean, John would pull out on top, take the win, and make it a top 4 playing as Espeon Garb deck. I'm just trying to look to see if there's anything else interesting that's different. I mean, congratulations, John, for making the top 4 with his deck. He did play Olympia to heal one of his Pokemon to switch out with the active, which is really strong. We've seen this in some decks for sure right now. But he'll go to make it top 4. Now, we have 2 decks left. That is Reagan Retzoff and Jared Chapman. And wow, I did not see this coming. That's, oh my goodness, this is crazy. All right, so actually Jared would end up getting 2nd place. Jared playing the Greninja Break deck. Now Jared would play John in top 4 with Espeon Garbodor, another easy matchup like I said. And Jared would end up playing Walker in top 8. So he's putting it 2 Espeon Garbs, pretty much auto wins, like we said. A really, really easy matchup. And just like I said, Espeon can't do any damage to you. You really don't have to worry about item cards. And Mega Garbodor is not really useful either. So, see it. Pretty much another just Greninja Break deck. Let's look at his list again. I think I saw one thing. The 1 max push, of course, to heal damage, and 2 Rough Seas. Now, the 3 Rough Seas is really great against Espeon because if they Psychic you can then retreat, Rough Seas the damage off, and make it where like they never did damage. Another easy matchup for the Espeon Gar player. So Greninja was a great call overall, as long as you hit the great, like, defined matches. I mean, if you hit, like, Espeon, if you hit Zork, you can easily take these games and win. But overall, in the end, we'll see a deck that I didn't see. I watched Game 1, and I didn't watch Game 2 or 3, unfortunately. These games will be on Pokemon.com, and we have a Rainbow Road deck. Oh, my goodness. Alright, so Rainbow Road taking a victory. So congratulations to Reagan Resloff for winning. Oh my, that makes me so happy because at the beginning of the year, Rainbow Road was one of the most hyped decks. It was really strong. You got the Galvantulas, you got the Volcanion, you got the what was it? Why can't I remember? Galvantula. Oh, he actually does play Bisharp. So, but still, what? Oh, so many questions I have here. All right, we'll go over this. We'll go over this deck. Okay, so let's read the description first off. I'm just so excited right now. I can't even talk straight. All right, so Reagan's deck is an interesting one that we don't see often in the meta. It takes advantage of dual type Pokemon to power Xerneas and its Rainbow Force attack, which does more damage based on the number of different types of Pokemon on Reagan's bench. He stretches out his bench with Skyfield to give himself even more damage potential. It's not a common deck, but certainly one good enough to propel Reagan to international champion. So congratulations, Reagan. I'm actually like super excited to see that he won with this. I mean, I was watching the finals. I saw him lose game 1, if I remember correctly, but must have won the next 2. And that is, wow, congratulations, sir. So, let's go over the deck. It's a deck we have not covered at all. So, Xerneas, it has the attack Rainbow Force. It does 10 and then 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. Alright, so we need different type of Pokemon. This can be well with Galvantula. Galvantula is a Grass and Lightning, okay. We got Shaman, which is colorless. Volcanion, Fire and Water. Lele, Psychic. Genesect, Steel. Alolan Diglett, Steel, which we'll go over that here in a second. And a Rangaroo for colorless. So with just the Galvantula and the Volcanion, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 6, 9, 12. You have 150 just up off those. And does he play Choice Band? I wouldn't see why you would, really. Yeah, we're going to see no Choice Band here, which is fine. Because with Galvantula and Volcanion, you already do what? 150, 3, 6, 9, 12. No, 3, 6, 9, 12, 130. But with 2 more Pokemon, you can easily take knockouts. Like a Shaman and a Genesect or a Diglett or something. You can start swinging for huge numbers. Actually, Skyfield is just in there kind of just like... So you don't... Oh, and plus his Xerneas on the bench. So yeah, you should like hit easy numbers. because you have a Xerneas to the bench, you have a Galvantula, you have a Volcanion, so that's three. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Plus one more is 80, so you do 190. And then with another one, you can start. You need to start taking knockouts, so you're fine here. You have so many Pokemon you can put down, so many different types, and Xerneas Break can start taking some huge numbers with that Rainbow Force attack. But Galvantula is Grass and Lightning, and the thing to note about Galvantula is he does have that double threat attack, and double threat does 30 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Also apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. So what you could do is against Greninja Break is snipe off Froakies because they have a 60 HP and you can easily knock them out. So if you're Rainbow Road, you go first, put down a Joltik, and then evolve next turn to a Galvantula, you can knock out 2 Froakies and maybe make it where your opponent can never get set up and win that way. Jared did not play Wally in his list, so he can never wall into a Frogadier. To get the water duplicates off, he has to evolve into Frogadier and use water duplicates. He doesn't play rare candy, so he can't rare candy, and it becomes a very hard matchup if that does come out. Which I imagine is what happened in some of these games. Like Galvantula just went crazy to start double threading, taking multiple knockouts. But once the Galvantula does not take the knockout and they start water duplicates, it becomes somewhat of a difficult matchup. But Xerneas has so much HP. So you have to giant water shuriken plus a moonlight slash picking up the energy. No, you don't have to do that. It does 60 and 60. So you can water shuriken plus just a regular moonlight slash for 60 for the knockout. But Xerneas just needs the full bench and easily knock out a Greninja. So you can see how the matchup kind of goes back and forth, especially with Galvantula helping. Shaman for this setup, okay. Volcanion. With the Steam Up attack, we're not going to use. The Volcanion Heat, we're not going to use. We're just use it for the dual type being fire and water, which kind of makes the matchup against Greninja a little bit shaky because it's an EX on the field, but if they can't get set up, then you just win regardless. One type of Lele, of course, with supporter cards and a Psychic Pokemon. One Genesect DX, and the good thing about Genesect DX is you do have that drive change to pick up a tool off it. So turn 1, you can put on a Genesect, you can attach whatever you want to it, like a Floatstone, and then later on you can pick it back, because it doesn't have to be active, right? Once turn before you attack it, you put a Pokemon tool, attach the Pokemon to your hand. So you can immediately just pick up the Floatstone and put it back onto somebody if they do get Life Center up and it's not the Genesect, and Drive Change, you can put that back in your hand and put it back down. It used to be, this list doesn't play it, but some people played EXP Share, and you can EXP Share Genesect before you Sycamore, but this one, it still works with Floatstone, and it's a Steel type. Another one interesting card I really don't know about is this Alolan Diglett. So let me pop up this Alolan Diglett. I don't know. Let's see, Alolan Diglett. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. So, yeah, I guess this is what you use it for. If you're dead drawing, you can retreat to Diglett. It doesn't need any energy to attack. It's also a Steel type Pokemon to give that more damage. And it doesn't need any energy, so you don't have to commit to Diglett at all. So I imagine that's what the Diglett's for. Imagine it's more for the weakness, or for the Steel type, but still, it can use that Spelunk attack. Spelunk. What a weird name. It's a card I never thought I'd have to cover, but today we're covering it. But Spelunk just rearrange those top 3 cards of your deck, and just make sure you draw into a card you need, and one ring to refer that instruct. Alright, so 9 Fairy and 4 double colors for our Xerneas, of course, because it needs a Fairy and DC to attack. So we see 4 Sycamore, 2 N, 2 Life Center, 1 Haxmaniac, and 1 Fan Club. Fan Club can let you get 2 base Pokemon. You can use Bridge Up with Fan Club. You can grab a Volcanion and a Joltik, which is really nice to grab turn 1. 1 Teammates to guaranteed 2 cards on your deck. 3 Skyfield, so you can fill up your bench. And then if they bump it, you can then discard a Shaman or something you don't need, just to make sure you have the right 5 Pokemon on the field. 4 VS Seeker, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Max Elixir. Max Elixir, look at the top 6 cards of your deck, attach a Fade Energy from there to one of your bench Pokemon. Both energy switch, you can switch it off the bench to the active, attach a DC, and you can start attacking out of nowhere, which is really strong. 2 Flowstone for that free retreat, and like I said, you can put that, it usually goes in Volcanion, because that has a 3 retreat cost, but you can always attach to a Genesect, and then make it aware if they live send somebody else up, you can just Drive Change and retreat it that way, just keep a DC ready to go whenever. 1 Rescue Stretcher, and 1 Soup Rod. Of course, Stretcher, shuffle 3 back in deck or 1 in hand, and Soup Rod, get back your energies. And there we go, Reagan will become your junior international champion, and will be the only person to actually win in the United States while playing the United States. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Reagan, for winning for United States. Let's look at who Reagan played against. He played against Jared, played Greninja. We talked about that. He played against Jackson. And top 4, another Greninja deck, so probably another easy matchup. So he played against 2 Greninjas. And then Reagan would play against Nick in top 8, playing a Zoroark break deck. Now, this one's I think it's an easy matchup for you if you're Xerneas, because you can one-shot Drampa, you can one-shot Zoroark. Zoroark can one-shot you, but you're trading back and forth on prize cards and stuff like that. It should be really easy for you to handle. You can also like manipulate your field because you don't need a full bench and make it where Zoroark can't really knock you out. And you also have the resistance, so it makes Zoroark a little bit harder to knock you out because now you kind of have like 140 HP, and if you don't have a full bench of 5, you can easily take that down. So Zoroark's a good matchup. Greninja's a good matchup. I imagine like Espeon Garb's probably a good matchup. I don't know how you do with all these training cards, but I imagine, Reagan took down multiple Garbodor decks to become our junior division champion. And there we go, guys. There's all top 8 decks from the International Championship. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see what Worlds brings us. It is going to be a totally different meta. There's a new set involved, so it's going to be totally different cards. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic Friday. Alrighty. Bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.